Welcome back to Algebra 1, Chapter 12, Section 6 in this book. Why am I wearing a crazy hat? Because this is our last section. We're skipping the last two, and I'll tell you why at the very end. So, had to put on the crazy party hat, because we're partying, because we made it through the whole book. Woo, 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 yay, yes, yay, yes. Alright, so our last two ideas, the distance formula and the midpoint formula. The distance formula. First of all, it's based on that big word, the Pythagorean theorem, which you remember is, I dropped my marker, it's the hat. A squared plus B squared equals C squared is the Pythagorean theorem. If we solved it for C squared, why is C not alone? It's being squared. So we do the opposite. We take the square root of both sides. So C equals the square root of A squared plus B squared. Here I have a graph and I have a line. If I wanted to know how big that line is, I would use this thing called the distance formula, which is really a modification of the Pythagorean theorem. I'll teach it more to you when you get to Algebra 2. Alright, so the distance formula is this. It's the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. What does that mean? Okay, so here I have 2 points. And the first thing I need to do is label them x1, y1, x2, y2. How do I do that? You go look at the x's, and whichever one is less is x1. And negative 2 is less than 1, so it's x1, and y1 has to go with it. They have to be buddies. So that means this is x2, and that's y2. Actually, with the distance formula, it doesn't matter, but it's a good skill to have anyway. Alright, now we put it in our formula. We go get x2, it's 1, and then we write our minus sign. Then we go get x1, it's negative 2. We write our squared plus, beginning parentheses, y2 is 4, minus sign, y1 is 3 squared again. 1 plus minus minus, 2 minuses make a positive, so 1 plus 2 is 3, and 4 minus 3 is 1, and both of them are squared. 3 squared is 9, and 1 squared is 1, and we add them together. So the answer is the square root of 10, and that's actually the answer, but nobody knows what that is. So the book said, go ahead and put it in your calculator, and they found out that the distance is about 3.16. Now, in your calculator, if you've had me, I've given you a program of the distance formula. You just tell it what is x1, y1, x2, y2, and it tells you the answer. You should get this program, because your calculator won't get nervous. Your calculator doesn't stay up too late playing video games or get a stomach bug. So it's really good to have these programs in case you're not feeling quite up to it. Your calculator is and can help you out. Also, you can use it for checking. You're in college, you're doing a test, you're doing the distance program, you did it all, you think you did it right. Use that program and you can check it before you turn in your test. It's legal. Okay, the other one is the midpoint formula. And so that's like if you had a line like this and you want to know what's that point in the middle. Okay, our first one was how long is the line, now where is it in the middle. Okay, and the midpoint, what you're doing is you're averaging. Do you remember how to average? You take your whatever your data is, you add it up, and then you divide by how many you have. But here we only have 2 of each one. So we'll divide by 2. We're going to add up our x's and divide by 2, and add up our y's and divide by 2. Here's our sample problem. The ones are these because negative 5 is less than 3. So x1 is negative 5, y1 is 4, x2 is 3, y2 is 0. We add up our x's, negative 5 plus 3, and we add up our y's, 4 plus 0, and divide by 2. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2, and 4 plus 0 is 4. Divide them by 2, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the answer is negative 1, 2 would be the midpoint of these 2 points on the graph. Now, once again, There's a program for it which I've given my students. If you're not one of my students, you can come by and get it, or they're out there. You can find them and download them on your calculator. You can actually write them too. There'll be places where you can see how to write them. Now, why are we skipping the last two? Why are we partying? I feel like the girl in Animal Crossing who does the announcements at the beginning, where she does that. Anyway, what's her name? Can't believe I forgot the Animal Crossing little dog at the beginning. Okay, so 12.7 is trig ratios. You're not ready for it. You're not ready for trigonometry. You need to learn geometry first. Then go find the geometry videos. They're going to be on YouTube too. Do them. I promise you I'll do a great job teaching you trig and geometry. We're skipping it. Keep turning the pages. And then the last section, 12.8, is proofs. Once again, I'm going to teach that to you in geometry. It's a little tricky. It's the lawyering part of geometry. You're going to learn that next year in geometry. You're going to do this same series of books, but you're going to do the blue one. You did the red one this year. Now it's time to do the blue one. So get this book, not the teacher's edition, get the student edition. Get this book, come back, and start with Geometry, Chapter 1, Section 1, and you will learn all that great trigonometry and the proofs. All right, math is great. I hope you had as much fun as I did. We sang, we danced, we laughed, we told bad jokes. Come back for geometry and you'll get more of the same. Yay, math is great.